Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our better version. In today's video I want us to look at 5 habits that save me thousands every single year. And these are boring habits, but boring is what actually builds you wealth. So keep watching because some of these habits might actually work for you too. Habit number 1, I drive a skorokoro. And you might be wondering what is that, but people in Namibia and South Africa knows what a skorokoro is. But then again, I think the word skorokoro is pushing it because my car is definitely not falling apart. But I do drive an old car. And I love my old car. When I was buying my car back then, I chose something that I know that I really like so that I'm able to drive it for a long time and I don't have car payments for a certain period of time. So I am lucky to have an old car that actually doesn't give me any problems. I'm able to move without any issues while I am saving money that I could have paid on car debt. If you look at the entry-level cars nowadays, you are looking at prices between 290 to 350 just for an entry level, and of course much more for an upgrade. And most of the people within that range, depending on the interest rate that you get, they are paying around 8,000 or 7.5 or whatever it is, and that is not a small amount of money. So every single month that I drive my car without having to pay for car debt, I am getting much closer to me reaching my financial freedom number, because it's not small money. If you take that 8,000 that you could have paid for a car and you invest it over a 5-year period, then you are able to have more than 600,000 in those 5 years. And that is the opportunity cost that we need to look at when we are buying cars. I am not saying never buy a car or never upgrade or never buy a new car, but I'm saying when you are making decisions to buy a car, even when your current car does not have any issues and you are not struggling with it, just know that this is how much money that I'm actually giving away to the bank just so that I can upgrade to a bit more comfort. If you are on your financial freedom journey like myself, you have a number that you want to reach, you are mindful when it comes to certain things. If you don't have issues with a car, your car is totally fine. It might not be as comfortable because it's not a new car, but it does what you need a car to do. So why are you giving away 7,000 to 8,000 a month or even more? If you are going for an upgrade, you can easily just invest that money and get to a point where you are actually comfortable with your numbers. Then you are able to then get a car at a later stage. So if you are somebody who is upgrading every 5 years, you are buying a new car, you are really just signing up for a poverty cycle, because then every 5 years you are taking on a new loan and you are servicing new debt. So you are constantly just paying off debt. So when your car doesn't give you issues, there is really no need to take on car debt. The second habit that saves me thousands every single year is that I automate my finances. And I do this mainly because I don't want to rely on willpower. We know that things happen, life happens, and you don't always do what you said you are going to do. So the best thing for me is to have a system in place where my finances are automated. Especially for my savings and my investments, I have automated that every single month there is a transfer that is automatic, that is going into my savings and investment accounts. And I treat my savings and investments like tax. The government doesn't ask you every single month whether you want to pay tax or not. The government just takes that tax from you. So why not treat your own finances in that way, where you have automated such that whatever happens at the end of the month, that money goes from that account where your income comes in and it goes straight to those savings and investments. Then you don't need to guess, you don't need to hope, you don't need to fight with decision making, whether you should invest or not, how much. You already have it set up that a fixed amount of money always goes from my transactional account to my investment or to my savings account. So when you have your things automated, you are not somebody operating from a place of hope or a place where you are reactive or where you have to rely on your discipline, but you are relying on a system that you have automated because you have already made those decisions for yourself. You don't have to make the decision every single month whether to invest or not and how much to invest. Habit number 3 is that I don't allow lifestyle creep to enter into my finances. I am really somebody who tries my best not to chase the soft life, because the soft life is never enough. You will keep wanting softer and softer and softer. You want more and more and more. I am really somebody who does not increase my lifestyle or upgrade my lifestyle as soon as my income has increased. And this is because you want to have a gap between your income and your expenses, and you want to keep widening that gap so that you spend a small fraction of what you are earning, and then you are able to use the rest of that money that you are keeping to then put into savings and investments, or to put into your money goals. If you have serious money goals like some of us, you don't want to get 1,000 today and you spend the whole 1,000, or you get 10,000 today, you spend the whole 10,000. No, you want to really allocate that money to your financial goals. And I'm a big believer in allocating yourself a small portion of your money for guilt-free spending, because it is important. Even if you are trying to get to financial independence or financial freedom and you have a target number in mind, you also want to make sure that along the journey you are not just constantly saving and investing and you are not enjoying any of your money. So whether it's from your fixed income or variable income, or whether it's from windfalls like the tax refunds and all those things, whatever money you get, allocate yourself a small percentage for guilt-free spending. Personally, I allocate myself a 5%. So you can decide which percentage works for you, whether it's a 5%, 10%, 15%, hopefully nothing beyond 15%, because then that is a lot of money to go to guilt-free spending. But really, it's important to make sure that as much as you are widening the gap between your income and your expenses, you are also allocating a small fraction of your money to do with it whatever it is that you feel like you want to do. Whether you are going to the spa, or you are going to chill with your friends, or you are going on a trip, or whatever it is, but you have a portion for guilt-free spending. Habit number 4 is that I do not have alcohol as a budget line in my budget. And I have to say, I was never somebody who is a lover of alcohol or somebody who was constantly consuming alcohol. But in a lot of settings, this might also be familiar to you. Even if you are not such a consumer of something, you tend to buy it for other people. You buy it when you have visitors, or when you have get-togethers or gatherings, you buy, even though you are not necessarily the one who is consuming. But then as time went by, I actually sat with myself and I asked, me having money being allocated to this, is it really in line with my values? Is this something that really speaks to me and what I want? Because if I can go for months without consuming something, why do I need to buy it for the next person? So then I decided whatever money that I was using, I would rather than channel that money to other parts of my financial goals or my budget. So I do not have alcohol as a line item in my budget, because firstly, I'm not a big consumer of it, and secondly, because it really just does not align with my values. Habit number 5 is that I track my numbers. I am a spreadsheet person. I love spreadsheets. And people who know me personally, they know that I make spreadsheets for almost everything. Tell me there's a lunch get together or whatever it is, I'll make a spreadsheet. I want to track how much contributions we are having. I want to track how much we are spending on what. The budget, we should remain within the budget. And if there's a shortfall, it should be looked at and stuff like that. So I'm really that person who loves to track everything. And this is important for people who want financial freedom, because when you are on a financial freedom journey, you have a number that you want to reach, right? Let me say your number is a 6 million or your number is a 2 million. You want to be able to track how much you are earning, how much you are spending, all your different numbers, so that you know whether you are on your way to reaching that target, or maybe you are going backwards, or maybe you are stagnant. You can improve and grow when you are not able to get a clear picture of what is going on with your numbers. So for me, every single month, I have a money date with myself. I will sit and I will go through my key numbers, or the numbers that I feel are the most important for me. I go through them. Firstly, I look at my income and my expenses. I check through the month, how much money have I made? How much money came into my account? And then how much money went out? I track those numbers and I use the zero-based budget, which is on my website. It's for free. You can also make use of it. So that is one of the things that I do during my money date. The second thing that I target for my money date is to update my investments and my savings. And this also includes me looking at if I have gotten any dividend income or I have gotten any interest income. I also look at that so that I track that also. Even if your interest income or your dividends is only a $50 or a $30 or whatever it is, you still want to track it so that at the end of the year, you can actually look at it and say, okay, so this year I got 3,000 in dividends, or I got 3,000 in interest income. It keeps you going and it shows you that your money is growing. And then the third, which is one of the most important things that I do for my money date, I update my net worth. And I also have a net worth calculator on my website. It's for free. You can also access it if you would like. And that helps me to actually see, this is how much I own, this is how much I owe, what is the difference? And how is this in line with the financial freedom number, the goal that I have set for myself that I want to achieve? Am I making progress towards that, or am I stuck at one place, or am I going backwards? Sometimes you are going backwards and you don't even know because you are not looking at your different numbers. So that is one of the key things that I do for my money date. If you are not already doing something similar, consider your monthly money date. Some people are even doing it weekly, but monthly for me works best. I look at everything for the 4 weeks, and this is something that keeps me motivated and keeps me going. At the same time, I'm able to spot where the problems are. If there are issues within my budget or issues within my spending, I'm able to pick it up every single month and I come up with a plan on how to fix it as I go. Because when you don't actually check, you can have a problem starting in January and you only notice it in June and half of the year is already gone, and that is not something we want. So doing this every single month actually helps you to be able to fix or solve any issues within your finances that you really need to solve. So these are my 5 habits, and these habits are not exciting. Automation is boring. Driving an old car is not considered sexy. And spreadsheets are tedious. It's tiring. But I do these things because I know for me to be able to keep more of my income, I need to have certain habits and certain things set up when it comes to my finances. So I'm able to then keep more of my earnings, and I use a portion of that to buy me assets, and those assets are able to bring me income. And that is really the essence of building wealth. We can't build wealth if we are not able to keep more of our income, and if we are not using that income to then buy assets that are able to bring us more money. So if you are feeling very overwhelmed with your finances, it means you really just need a boring system in place. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.